Across our communities, questions about Islamic law are everywhere. We have questions about marriage, divorce, parenting, gender interaction, debt and finance, halal food, halal entertainment, and even about slavery and the history of criminal punishments in Islam. These are everyday questions, but they shape how we worship God, how we form our families, how we shape our communities, and how we endeavor to attain Allah's closeness. And yet, for most Muslims today, these questions are fraught with uncertainty, with confusion, and with contradiction. In a world that's overflowing with opinions, with clips, with confident voices, what does Allah really want from me? And how do I know who to turn to for guidance? For most of Muslim history, a very small percentage of people could read and write. Scholars had the responsibility of safeguarding the tradition and of guiding the community. The pathways for learning were clear, they were structured, and they were embodied or embedded in institutions and in people. But today we inhabit a radically different world, a world of mass literacy, a world of global visibility, of access to information immediately, and now of artificial intelligence as well. We've gone from manuscripts to machines, and we're moving from the madrasa to the metaverse. Access to information has grown exponentially in a way that our ancestors could never even have imagined. And this is where much of our modern confusion begins. Islamic law is a living tradition that's meant to guide us to what is right, what is just, and what is beneficial. But today we face challenges that past communities never did. We have charismatic but unqualified voices that are speaking with confidence. We have misquoted text stripped of context. We have AI-generated rulings that appear authoritative, and we have blurred boundaries between scholars, between therapists, between lawyers, and between influencers. And we have an absence of institutions that once supported communal practice. It's no longer enough to simply receive information. We need the grounding, the skills, and the ethical sensibilities to understand that knowledge and to practice it or implement it responsibly in our shared religious lives. And this is what we mean by Islamic legal literacy. Legal literacy is not DIY, do-it-yourself fiqh. It's not becoming your own mufti. And it's not about doing away with scholars. It's about gaining the clarity about what Islamic law is and what it's not. It's about recognizing core principles, about knowing how to navigate everyday questions with confidence. And it's about knowing when something is beyond your ability and who the right expert is to turn to for guidance. It's really about becoming thoughtful and discerning participants in our religious lives. Over the past 18 months, we at Maʿruf Commons have been developing a new approach to public education on Islamic law. One that's rooted in scholarship, that's built in collaboration with religious leaders, with service providers, with practitioners, with subject matter experts, and one that's designed for the real questions that Muslims live with every day. We call this the Islamic Law Literacy Initiative, or ILLI. ILLI is the first multi-year public education project of its kind. It's created to make the brilliance of the Islamic legal tradition relevant, accessible, and practical for everyday Muslims. The initiative brings together 4 connected learning pathways. The first is literacy for everyday Muslims. The second is training for community practitioners. The third is training for religious leaders and seminarians. And the fourth is training for lawyers and policymakers. What we're building is more than content to inform, but learning skills and ethical sensibilities to transform. We want to offer tools that reshape how we think about the law, how we engage with the law, how we make decisions, and that changes how we bring our Islamic principles and values into everyday practice. ILLI bridges classical knowledge with contemporary realities. It's where faith meets research, where tradition meets action, and where the ethics of our heritage become tools for everyday living. Our vision is to help build a community in which every Muslim approaches Islamic law with clarity and confidence. A community where scholars, therapists, lawyers, and subject matter experts collaborate to co-construct solutions and to support Muslims with justice, with compassion, and with knowledge. A community that honors the expertise that everybody brings to contribute to the well-being of the collective. A community that embraces learning and that lives its faith with understanding. We're just at the beginning of this journey. If our vision resonates with you, if you want clarity and confidence in your knowledge and in your practice, and if you want to support developing and sustaining healthier communities, we invite you to join us. Share this video with friends, with family, with practitioners, with religious scholars who care about the future of Islamic law in our communities. And sign up for our mailing list to receive updates about our programs, about our resources, about our work.